Did I do it? Did I do the thing?
Yeah,
Has the thing been done?
Oh my god.
Okay, I think.
Oh my damn.
The thing has been done, and then.
Hi everyone.
The hair is amazing still. This is now an Ethys hair stream.
Oh my goodness. It's actually like, you know, I don't know what to do with long hair because I haven't had it for very long. So it's just like however I wake up, whatever it looks like is like, all right, that's it today. So sometimes I get lucky. And it seems like today is one of those days. So I'll take it. Okay, I need to get my butt over to Lavender Beds. 120 plot 12. Okay. How are you, by the way, my dear friend? It's been
getting by.
It's been 3 weeks, I think, since our last call.
Yeah. Let's give everyone a little story of how we did this. So we had a meeting about 3 weeks ago, and then we just winged it.
Yeah.
It was great. Yeah. It was great. Yeah. It was good.
Yeah.
So you'll see tonight with the questions, you'll see some done in one format and some done in another format. So it's very easy to know which ones Ethys did.
You can tell who's done who, yeah.
And so which ones I did.
So if you're getting mad at questions, you know who to direct that frustration towards.
Yes, you know exactly who to direct the hatred to. The answer to that is always to Ethys ashing.
I mean, yeah, that's fair. I'm used to it. You see, I'm used to taking the heat from salty Sandras that don't know their lore so good.
Well, they're gonna learn their lore tonight with some of the questions that you run.
Well, the unique thing about tonight's show is that we've only got one lore-heavy category.
Yeah.
There will be like lore stuff to talk about with all of them, which I think will be fun. But this is not your daddy's Aelzivia.
If you are from Australia and New Zealand, and you have a registered team already, if you don't, let me know and we can get a team registered for you before we start. Then I will post sheets. I will post sheets in the chat for you to click on for each round. And then you'll fill out the form for your team, and then you will submit it, and then it will be marked and stuff like that. So it's all being done through Google Form.
I'm really glad that you're on top of it with the admin stuff. Yeah, if it wasn't completely obvious, guys, Harry has been working his butt off on this for weeks and weeks, and I stayed up all night last night to do some assets and stuff because I haven't been. So
I tell you what though, the questions that you put together, like Ethys's questions have all these nice visuals and like the font is all nice and like it's all beautiful, and mine are like stock standard cut and paste questions.
That's all right. Can we get like some chairs up here or something? I don't. You know,
no, this is the stage. We have to dance. And
I see it's a stage, but Grunt Mollusk Grabble hasn't really stretched his legs in a long time, you know? Jeez.
I'm just gonna sip my drink here.
You've got your Ethys tolerance juice there.
Ethys tolerance juice. Can I just say I'm a little bit surprised that you've not mentioned anything about the picture frames in this room.
Listen, I know how you feel about Kanye, all right? By the way, Harry and I are the only ones that are allowed to have our tombstones out tonight, okay? So if I see any of you out there checking your tombstones for answers, I will come down there.
True.
I will come right down there and I will terraflare you, all right?
So the prizes that we have, there's the Moogle clock. There is the Chocobo and Spriggan cleaning gloves, the Carbuncle nightlights, the Namu plushies, and the Happy Bunny plushies. And then we also have one Shadowbringers collection, physical Shadowbringers collector's edition to give away.
With the statue and everything?
With the statue and everything.
Oh my. To reiterate, it's basically we've got a big pool of prizes and whoever comes in first gets first dibs.
Yeah, basically, yeah. So if your team comes first, you get to pick your prize first, essentially. So yeah, and so
A lot
far
of
there's
this stuff is from the Japanese claw machines as well. I believe
Yes.
a lot of these is merchandise you won't find on the Square Enix store and you won't find anywhere else. Yeah, which is pretty exciting.
Round one. Round one is just a little bit of a warm-up round that I put together. It's just got some general knowledge Final Fantasy XIV stuff. They're not super tricky. Some of them are a little bit more specific, but these are meant to be pretty general to kind of just get yourself into the swing of things. I shouldn't say that they're easier, because then if someone gets them wrong, they might feel bad. They're just
That's all right. People can feel bad.
General. People can't feel bad. The point of them being here is to feel good.
They'll feel good when they win. Feeling good's for winners.
Jeez. Wow. All right, you heard that. You heard it, everybody. You have to heckin' get good if you want to be happy, apparently.
Listen, the way these things work, right, is that you have to have one judge that's like, "Oh, you did really well done, you did your best, I'm so proud of you, you're beautiful." That's Harry. So then because I would like to be that guy, but Harry just has such a natural proclivity to be that person that I'm inevitably forced into the ulterior role, which is, Simon Cowell, I guess.
Question number 1. I hope this actually works, because I didn't test it while your webcam was in here, so this might be weird.
I hope so. Let's see.
Hey, it appeared, and it worked fine.
Hey, there we go.
It worked fine. In which city does the Archer class start in?
Harry, which class did you start with when you first started playing at the very beginning?
I actually started as a gladiator, because back at the start, like in the beta, I believe, to unlock White Mage, you had to have gladiator at 15 and conjurer at 30. And then for the release of the game, they actually changed it to arcanist at being level 15. But I didn't realize that they changed it. So I leveled my gladiator to level 15 and then got my conjurer to level 30 and then was like, wait, what? I can't unlock White Mage? What's going on? And then, had to then change. So I started as a gladiator.
Oh, secondary classes, man. I was talking about that the other day. Hey? It's like inconceivable now. Well, I was a Lancer, obviously.
Good.
And never once looked back.
Never once?
Never once.
Not even Red Mage main Ethys looked back?
Now you listen here.
Question number 2. Which grand company uses a ship on its banner? I changed shirt because I was wearing gray and it's very hot in here.
You're just trying to flex all of your exclusive Final Fantasy XIV shirts, aren't you?
Stop it. Yes.
I'm wearing the wrong brand. All my 14 shirts are in the wash.
Which job learns the ability Death Blossom? That's question number 3.
This might be thought of as a little bit of a trick question. When I think of like flower themed ability names, my head goes to a very specific place, and that may or may not be the case here.
That's why I picked this particular ability.
I
was the cheeky. Question number 4. What is the single target potency of the ability Afflatus Misery?
A lot. It's got a lot of single target potency. It's got many potency.
Name the area of Ishgard that the restoration of Ishgard takes place in.
You want the name of the
area.
The zone.
Yes. So Ishgard is not it's the area within Ishgard that the restoration is taking place.
Have you been doing
a little bit slower? I did heaps of it in the first week. I competed and I got top 12.
That's right, you did.
And then I have not stepped back in again. For Leatherworker.
Oh, okay.
Question number 6. What is the catchphrase of the Great Serpent of Ronka? I'm calling it a catchphrase. And imagine the Great Serpent of Ronka doing this every time.
It had never once occurred to me that this is a catchphrase. I love the term catchphrase implies that it's capable of saying other things. It just doesn't because it has perfect comedic timing. I love that the Great Serpent of Ronka is technically like the head of the Ronkan pantheon. Like of all the spirits that they revere, of all the gods that they worship, the serpent is the like absolute top dog.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
This question gives you life.
Do you think that that's an auspice?
Oh, actually, that is quite an interesting question.
Yeah, because what happened, right, is that it was angry and ferocious and was attacking Ronka. They sent this big golem to go and beat it up and put it inside this crystal cocoon thing, which is the fruit of the protector. And it basically like chilled out, and ever since then it's been this like beneficent protector of Ronka and of the forest. And that sounds a lot like the Aramatama and like what we had to do with the auspices with the Great Lords. And the fact that it's got like, you know, the big, presumably like big ferocious serpent form, and then the cutesy little, you know, kawaii cuddly form. I think it's an auspice.
So basically what you're saying is that there's going to be a trial where we fight an actual Great Serpent of Ronka.
I wouldn't be terribly surprised.
That would be so cool, though. Come on, that would be sick.
That would be pretty cool. I don't think it's necessarily on the cards, but
no, probably not.
They could do some really funny stuff with that. That would, you know what? That would actually be like a really good Hildebrand trial.
The joke's on us. It's actually going to be the 5.5 ultimate. If everybody's happy with their answers, you can hit submit on your round one. I'm going to quickly go through the questions again in case anybody missed them. But if you're all happy with your answers, hit submit so the team can start ticking them off.
I did not like this great question. It's pronounced scree.
It's pronounced scree.
Because he's got like the little Aussie like bucket hat on that one, doesn't he?
So round two is one that you put together. So I'll let you do all of them. Round two is your area screenshot one.
Alrighty. Awesome. Yeah. Excellent. Yeah. In this round, I have been going around taking some screenshots from various locations. Some of them might be fairly self-evident, others less so. And the object of this round is to guess and identify which zone these screenshots are taken in.
When Ethys was putting this round together, Ethys sent me a list. Sent me about 46 screenshots.
46, yeah.
And I went through. I went through them all, and I think I got about 50% of them correct.
Yeah, you got about half of them, which is what I was kind of hoping for.
Yeah, so they were good screenshots there.
Okay.
This is question one.
I don't think I really need to say anything about that, do I? No, I don't want to give it away, but you know, we can perhaps direct attention to certain features, if you like. Talk about the composition. You know what? Give me like a professional sort of photography critique of it, because you're okay. Very like artistic.
Well, I really enjoy the I don't know what the term would be, but I like how it directs the eye both at the subject matter, but also down the pathway, because you've got the railroad and obviously the shed or whatever it is, all kind of drawing lines to one point.
I believe that's called a vector.
That sounds good to me, yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds pretty good.
You like the vectors? Okay.
I like the vector. It's dynamic. It's nice.
Yeah.
I like the little blur you've got going on.
Yeah.
Question number 2.
Now, what have we here? What do you see, Harry?
I'll be honest, I got this one wrong.
You did get this one wrong, yeah. Yeah, this one was definitely potentially misleading. You know, there are a lot of like clockwork features in various parts of the game, in various locations and dungeons and stuff like that. They're reasonably ubiquitous, but there are just a couple of little extra clues in this one that might help you out. I hope, I dare say. Let's go to question 3.
Question number 3.
Now you got You got this one
Horribly
wrong as
wrong.
well, I believe. Yeah. Hmm.
I
Um,
I saw this one and I was like,
mhm.
what? Like,
Yeah, this one is kind of tricky, perhaps until you know what it is, and when you know what it is,
Yeah.
you really know.
I was
Yeah,
like, is this like my character's house?
none of these player so you know that one.
I was like, did you go into my character's house and take a photo?
Yeah, it's Harry's bathroom. Hmm.
Number 4. I also
Number
got this
4.
horribly wrong.
You did get this wrong.
It is
So
a shower
what are
you can use in housing. Yeah, this one as well.
What are we looking at here? Some kind of porthole, some kind of mossy porthole onto some sort of skyline.
This one just threw me off so much.
Yeah, this one's definitely Bioshock. Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
I could see that. I could see that.
Yeah. Again, this is another one where it might look a little bit vague and ambiguous, but if you pay attention, there are certain features that should give it away. So just look very, very closely.
Question number 5.
Number 5. Yeah, all I will say is that Harry got this one wrong as well. There are a few things that you might think of straight off the bat that it could be, but there is one little giveaway at the same time, which should be able to clarify it for you. Yeah, this one is also Bioshock. That's right, it's Bioshock again. These ones, that's actually the punchline is these are all shots from Bioshock. Yeah. Question number 6.
I really liked this shot.
Okay.
I thought this one was really nice.
And why is that? Give me a critique.
Because it's a point of view, but it's point of view of a statue. Like that's really interesting because it's like usually when there's a piece of art or something, you're looking at the art. But this is the point of view of the art looking at someone that's viewing the art. Like I think that's really nice. I like that. Was that the intention?
Yeah, actually, it was. Also because when you're looking at the statue, it is a statue. Correctly identified that if that wasn't, completely self-evident. When you're looking directly at the statue, it becomes very obvious what the statue is of.
Yeah, right.
Whereas from the angle, if you're savvy, you can clearly construe what the statue is of, but it's not like immediately self-evident.
Hit submit as fast as you can because we do need to move on to the next round. Yes, we do. We have nine answers, so that means we can go through.
Well done, everyone.
We can go through the answers for that round.
Okay.
Let me get them
Number
up.
1.
Number 1.
Number 1. The trolley. Now, if you have a look in the bottom left, underneath the rim of the trolley, you can see a couple of particular NPCs there. Some trolley enthusiasts. This is, of course, in Twine, in Arang, and I'm sure you guys that have done the Shadowbringers MSQ will remember these moments very, very well.
Okay, so that was question number 1. Question number 2.
Yep. Question number 2.
I got this one wrong.
Crystarium at the Hotorium. So down where they're growing all the plants down underneath, there's canals that move through under the Crystarium. And you actually notice this from the pendants, where like the sort of quarters are. This one, what did you guess that it was?
I guessed that it was Idleshire.
Idleshire.
Purely because of the clockwork Charlian looking kind of design. Question number 3.
Now this is once again, as soon as you see it, you're like, oh yeah,
well,
yeah.
Can I just say, looking at the scores, every team got this one right.
So it's just you dummy.
Literally every team got this right, and I got it wrong.
Did you skip these cutscenes? This was like top 10 Alphino moments,
Oh my gosh, yes, it's down the
Yes.
bottom. Of course.
Yeah.
Okay.
After we've gone through and done our paperwork, they tell us that we
Ah,
stink and we need to go and have a shower at the
I was
delousery.
stinky. That's
Mm-hmm.
right.
Mm-hmm.
I remember now.
How could you have forgotten that?
I don't know. I just did. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I just always smell really good, so I just never have to shower.
That's true. You do always smell really good.
Wow.
Wait, what? You don't have to. Is that just like a natural must?
That's just my natural smell. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. We could market that.
We can market
Extract
that.
your-
Can we bottle it
Extract your
and
pheromones.
we bottle it and I can have a really fancy ad that actually has nothing to do with the fragrance. It just looks cool, and at the end the bottle appears and it's like, Harry.
Just full of your blood, and you're looking all like gaunt and emaciated from giving like
my God.
4 liters of blood.
That went in a total different direction than I was expecting. Okay, we're moving on to the next question. Number 4.
Number 4.
I got this one wrong.
This is Ilmeg at the bottom of Long Mirror Lake. Now, this is specifically looking through the window of the Church of the First Light at the bottom of the lake from the inside out across Old Vobert. Of course, the contents of the bottom of Long Mirror Lake was the sort of like central district of the city of Vobert before the flood, and after the Fae moved in, the Fuar basically filled this valley up with water to make a lake so that they could live in it. But there was no water there 100 years ago. There was a city down there, and that's what we're looking at. So
yeah,
I think you guessed the Tempest just because you saw like underwater and
I did.
skylines.
I was throwing up between Ilmeg and Tempest though. I actually was.
Number 5. Now, why don't you tell people what?
No, I'm going. I'm leaving.
Yeah.
I'm leaving now. I'm leaving the room now.
Can anyone get, because it can only be one other thing. If you look at that structure, whatever we're kind of seeing the reflection, the shadow of there's only one other thing that it really could be.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't see the giant pillar of light in the center of the screen.
Oh, you didn't see it?
No.
Oh.
I thought
you
it
see,
was. I literally only saw the dock part there, and I was like, like that dock part looks like Ruby, like in the Ruby Sea when there's a few docks like that in the Ruby Sea. So I was like, cool.
Right.
So I was like, it must be Ruby Sea.
I thought that you saw it, and that you thought that it was Heaven on High.
Oh yeah,
the shadow of Heaven on High. So this is in the source in the lake in Lakeland, looking up at the Crystal Tower. Final one is, drum roll, the lot.
I got this one right there.
So this is the tomb of King Manfred, which is at Ablathia's skull, in the crypts of the Alamegan royals. Now, what we're seeing there is, of course, a statue of Rauga. As I was saying, if I took it from the front, you would see that it's the exact same pose as the statue of Rauga has in Rauga's Reach, where he's got the staff in one hand and the hand outstretched. So I took it from an angle where you could see the hand, but you couldn't see his face, and you couldn't see the statue and like all the really kind of obvious Rauga iconography. Yeah, that's a statue that is on top of the tomb of King Manfred, who was the king of Alamigo 100 years ago during the Autumn War, when Alamigo invaded Gridania, and there was a long protracted war there, which got the first formation of the Eorzean Alliance, the Limsons and Uldans and the Ishgardians ended up getting involved and pushing the Alamegans back, and there's been really bad blood ever since, which is basically one of the main reasons why, when Alamigo was going through its civil war and got invaded by the 14th Legion and all that, the rest of the Eorzeans were just like, well, good luck, see you later. I don't know if you've done Casham Lacus Litor yet, but the way that was set up, I was like, man, it would be so cool if like the Alamegan dungeon had been like that, you know what I mean? And it obviously couldn't have been, like, for obvious reasons, but like that was just it's so good.
That raid. If anybody is on the fence about Bozia, if you literally do it only for the story, it is worth it.
It is so good.
It's so good.
It's Matsuno. So Matsuno was the lead writer for Final Fantasy XII, Final Fantasy Tactics, Vagrant Story, Tactics Ogre.
It's
basically
just...
all the really like good narrative, like gritty Final Fantasy titles.
I loved every second.
Lines. Yeah, he was guest writing Return to Ivalice, and he's been writing Bozja as well, and it's really good. But that is our screenshot zone identification segment. How did we do? How'd you guys do? I saw a couple people in chat was saying 5 out of 6. I'm really impressed with 5 out of 6. That is fantastic.
I'm looking at the answers here, and people did pretty good. People did pretty good. The last one stumped quite a few teams, though. The Lux one stumped quite a few people.
Good. Again, I was testing these with Harry because on one hand, I'm like, are they too easy? Are they too hard? I don't know. I have no idea. But I think we found a happy medium.
Yeah. Round 3 is also a round that was done by Ethys. It is a round where we are going to be posting, or there's going to be some lyrics that come up on the screen.
Yeah. So the way we're doing it is if you can give us the title of the song, of the track, that's 1 point. If you can give us an extra bit of information, either the name of the zone or the location, or if it's a boss fight, the name of the boss, either one of those for 2 points. I've given 2 lines from each of these, from which you will have to identify the rest of it, and we'll read them. We'll read them for you.
Yes.
We'll give you a nice dramatic reading.
Ethys will sing them, not sing them.
I'll sing them? No, but that'll give it away if I sing them.
He won't sing them. Question 1 is up. Do you want to do question 1 and I'll do 2 and then we'll swap it around?
Yeah, that sounds good. Okay, question 1. Retreat where lesser men lead. Flee from what you do not see.
I was actually thinking that when you sent me these, I was like, it's going to be so hard to not read them in the tune of the song.
Yes, I'm trying very deliberately not to, now that we know them. Retreat where lesser men lead. Flee from what you do not see.
Okay, so question 2. I'm going to read it very blankly. Let go this destiny. You're caught in a trance. Ever marking time inside a dream. No sign of advance. I hope that was blunt enough.
That was quite blunt. I think most, if not all, of these lyrics are written by Koji, by the way, if that wasn't obvious.
Oh, Koji.
Yeah, he's like not a bad lyricist, honestly, and he's not a bad singer either. He's not a bad singer. We'll talk about that.
Yeah, we've seen him perform live at shows. It was quite. It wasn't a side of him that I was ever expecting to see, but I was very impressed.
It's kind of like watching your dad in like his garage band. And being like dragged along to a show with him, being like, "Oh god, this is gonna be like so cringy," and then being like, "Oh damn, this rocks!" Oh snap, my dad's cool.
Yeah, my dad's actually good at this.
Yeah, he's wearing a fedora, and for some reason, it doesn't even bother me. Koji does wear a fedora when he's performing with the Primals.
He did, yes. So we're gonna move on to question 3 now.
Okay, this one is mine.
Yes.
Fearless creatures, we all learn to fight the Reaper. Can't defeat her, so instead I'll have to be her. I think this is one of the more iconic ones, but it's also, it could be referring to multiple things. These lyrics are not like, some of them are diegetic, not all of them are, so that it'll be referencing things like cultural touchstones that aren't necessarily like a thing in the game. But I think this is one of the only places we've had any idea of there being like a Grim Reaper in Final Fantasy XIV.
Question number 4. Freedom foregone, sinking apace. Comets crumble, Is it Phoebus?
Phoebus, yeah.
Phoebus fades. Under cosmic clamor decayed, hides a path untaken.
So it's not really much of a hint, but I guess a little bit of trivia for you. Phoebus is a Greek god of light. Which, you know, whenever we see references to like Phoebus or Lu or other deities from different cultures that represent like light or the sun or whatever, it's always something that we're going to kind of compare to our character, right? To the idea of the warrior of light. Even more so, you know, more recently for reasons.
Question number 5. Let's go.
Yeah, okay. Man, it's going to be really hard not to...
you can do it, I believe.
Okay, I'll try and couch my enunciation of this one. Okay. Ain't no landers gonna take us. No. Cold Dustin the Flustered is super cala something tages. Now, those question marks are not because I can't figure out what it says. Those are the official lyrics.
Yeah.
When Koji was writing the official lyrics for the Primals album that this track features on, he could not remember what they were.
So let's do question number 6, which is, pray don't forget us, your bygone kin, with one world's end does a new begin. And now I'm just super excited that they get to watch the video that you put together of all the answers.
It's very like thematic for Final Fantasy XIV in general. Like there's so many moments, so many ideas, so many concepts that these lines could relate to, which is no doubt, you know, intended in their composition. But I really like this one as well.
Friends, if you finished those of you that have the registered forms, if you've finished, feel free to submit. My dude on the right looks like Kit Harington.
I have no idea who that is, but I'll take that as a compliment.
Yeah, because he's not getting told that he looks like a certain someone else that starts with S.
Yeah, that rhymes with Krya Shemov.
Yeah.
If I'm told that I look like anyone else on the planet, I'm very happy. Play the tape. All right, good lad. Let's see it.
Oh, hang on, I can't hear it. Stream can hear it. I just can't hear it.
Okay. Oh, that's fine.
There we go. So this is number 1. Wait, how come you're... Oh, sorry, this part's gone. I love this fight so much! I love this fight so much. When this fight came out, it was everything when this fight came out. Like,
oh man, going from having like these epic orchestral moments to having these just absolute bangers where you just like bopping the whole time that you're farming.
It was everything we needed, though. It was everything we needed. To give you the answers that we would have accepted for that, the song is called Fiend. The fight was Sephiroth, and the instance is Containment Bay S1T7. This is number 2. This one gives me a lot of feels.
This one gives me some flashbacks of.
Oh yeah. Me, Ethys and I rated this together, and yo.
This progging on this fight was like the biggest roller coaster I've ever had rating in Final Fantasy XIV. And is one of like my worst and fondest memories of the game to this date.
It's just like that fight was called the Static Killer. For anybody that wasn't playing at that time, and there was no raid finder for raids yet either at this time. People couldn't clear this fight because it was tuned so tightly. People couldn't clear it, so people started quitting the game, Static started falling apart, and what happened was all of the raiders flooded to specific worlds. That's why Gilgamesh is insanely populated and has such a big raiding community, because everyone funneled there when they couldn't find raids on their worlds anymore. So there's like specific servers that everyone flooded to. I know so many people that stopped playing the game when that fight was around, because it killed so many groups. It killed so many groups.
But you know, as a result, those of us that like did get through it, even though it was so painful and such drama, it was so like satisfying and such an achievement.
It's a good fight. It was such a fun, good fight though. Like the mechanics were awesome. It was just tuned so tight.
So the track name there was, of course, Locus.
Yes.
And we would have accepted for the other point the boss theme for Midas, the boss theme for Gordius, because it played in both those tiers for all but the final turns. So X of the Father, X of the Son, A1 to 3, or A5 to 7.
Yeah,
we would have accepted those plays in a few different places.
So that was in a lot of spots. Question
right,
3.
Number 3.
Oh. I love this part. I love it.
That was, of course, the Primals rendition.
Yes.
Of Oblivion.
The answers we would have accepted for that was Oblivion, the song, Shiva for the boss, or the Akafar Amphitheater.
That one is very, very iconic. And they've done, there's like 4 different arrangements of it now. We've got the original, we've got this Primals version, we've got the pianos version, and we've got the Pulse one as well, which Soken remixed, which is quite interesting. And they all sound very different. They all have like very, very different feelings, very different flavors. Question 4. Roll the tape.
I also love this one. Escape. 6 out of 12. Nice, Barry. This one was actually, when I read the lyrics to this, I was slightly confused just because I sing different lyrics for this.
Yeah, there's I mean, we know the official lyrics are chicken tenders, but they had to come up with some like lore-friendly alternate lyrics. Yeah, so Koji wrote this one as a sea shanty.
Really?
Originally. Yeah, because as we know, Midgard Zormer fled the Dragon Star after Omega basically destroyed it, and went on this journey that took centuries through deep space, with Omega pursuing him. They were having this long voyage out across the stars to reach Heidelin, to reach the source. So the idea was that it was like this interstellar sea shanty, and the lyrics basically reflect that. The sort of aesthetic of the song, the arrangement of the song doesn't really give that impression, but when you look at the lyrics, they're really interesting. I would love to hear like an acoustic version of this with like a hurdy-gurdy.
I would love. I need it now. Someone needs to get onto one of the musical Final Fantasy 14 content creators and make it happen.
Number 5, let's hear it.
Boom. I actually didn't know the lyrics to this, but I guessed it by like, because of the question mark. Bap 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 in the business. I know it from Alexander doing tea, from wiping endlessly in tea.
Oh, so good. So this is basically like, Koji described it as like a gobby speak gangster rap, which is great. This is, of course, Rise. Koji tells a really funny story of he'd written the lyrics, and Soken was like, okay, we got to record this like in like 3 days. So we need you to memorize them and be able to do it. But it's like, it's really, really fast and it's really, really difficult. So Koji was getting the subway home every day, and would be like mumbling the lyrics like over and over and over and over to like practice the diction on the subway, and people just like staring at him. I think the question marks are supposed to be an expletive. Let me see if I can do it. Okay, Sonic, boom, rings loud from the engines. Ironclad motor gonna eliminate the distance. Ain't no land's gonna take us. No cold dust in the fluster. Supercalifragilistic is basically what it is.
Did he swear
Slow
in the
down.
official
Stop
lyrics?
taking no hits. Accelerate past us, blast us, fit the transmit.
Who wants me to
No, he
replay
says-
it so that Ethys can rap along with it?
Mike can.
Who wants,
Mike can do this.
who wants Ethys to have a try?
If you're brave enough to give me a beat, then I'll be brave enough to try it.
I'm not brave enough to give you a beat. I
Yeah,
actually don't know how.
That's what I thought.
I actually
That's
don't
what
know
I thought.
how to give you a beat. That's the problem here.
Unbelievable.
All right, moving on to the next
Unbelievable.
question. If you've not finished the base story of
Yeah.
Shadowbringers, then you need to not be here for a second.
We'll tell you when it's safe to look back.
You'll be able to listen to it if you want to still
Yeah,
check,
it's
but
fine.
yeah.
Pray don't forget us, your bygone kin, with one world's end as a new begin. And should our souls scatter unto the wind, still we shall live on. Stand
Okay, it's safe to look now.
You can all thank Ethys for that. Thank you.
Okay, so in discussing that, we won't spoil anything, but there's a certain character there who is extremely extra and has made a few Shakespeare references. You guys probably noticed from Tales of the Shadows as you've read them. The title Tomorrow and Tomorrow is a Macbeth reference from Macbeth's soliloquy after Lady Macbeth dies. Spoilers for Macbeth. What is it? Tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow creeps in this petty pace from day to day to the last syllable of recorded time, and all our yesterdays have but lighted fools the way to dusty death. So that soliloquy is like very, very much about the character as well. Draws like a really apt connection there. And this is both Koji and Ishikawa, I think, in writing this character being a little bit bougie, but also bougie in exactly the same way that I would be, and in a way that I really, really appreciate.
I just that song every time, the way that they like managed to reuse that main theme, just yo.
We should have ended on Rise. That was we should have made like a sandwich of sadness, not
Yeah,
like
sorry,
I dip into despair.
Round 4 is round 4 is our lore section.
Okay, all right. You're making a sandwich here by like putting all of my toughies like in the middle.
Well, I put my fun ones at the start at the end. So
Okay, all right. You're making a fun sandwich.
I tried to make a fun sandwich by putting my easier ones at the start and end.
So
I
it's
just
like
want to
this
say the
this sandwich-
organization. Sorry,
It's
you
like
go.
it's like two donuts, and all the filling is just like nasty Ethys vegetables.
Yeah, the screenshot one was. I think that was fine though. I don't think that was bad. That wasn't too rough. I don't think.
Okay, there's like one strip of bacon in there.
Yeah, it's
Right.
mainly all Shadowbringers lore stuff.
It is exclusively Shadowbringers lore. Basically, in anticipation of not making this so like infuriating as Eozivia, I've given visual cues. For each of these questions, they will have an accompanying visual cue which should help get the gears turning for you, at least a little bit.
Speaking of which,
Okay, so here, I'll just let you look at the screenshot for a moment to kind of prime yourself for the content of this question. The first question here is quite simply,
oh, hang on, sorry.
what race was the first emperor of Ronka? What race was the first emperor of Ronka? Ronka is the ancient civilization, the ruins of which you can find in the Raktika Greatwoods, protected by the Vis. They fell about 1,000 years ago, so they would have been roughly contemporary with Amdapor and Mark and Nim.
I see people popping up in chat being like, I
Yep.
might know it.
They basically had a lot of different races, a lot of different cultures that sort of joined them as they expanded. But we know the race of the first emperor, and that is our first question. Let's see the next screenie.
This is your prompt for question
Okay.
2.
Question 2. What we're seeing here are the Kitari and a little friend, which are of course the name of the Kikurin on the first. This is another Ronka-related question. And the question is, what was the title and role of the Kitari, these little fellas, in ancient Ronka? Did you know that Kitari only live to like 20 or 25?
Yeah, they have really short lifespans,
Yeah.
which may or not help hint towards their
Yes.
title.
It may indeed.
This is
No,
me
that's
trying to like
fine.
slyly pass notes like across
No,
the table to the next student.
That's fine. I'm quite satisfied for you to do that. Let's move on to the next one.
This is your prompt.
Ah. Now
This is not the Ruby C, everybody.
This is not the Ruby C.
Just so you're all aware from my guess from the screenshot section.
No. And the question, of course, as I'm sure many of you are probably anticipating already, why is the slumbering Bismarck in Lakeland known as the Isle of Ken?
Is it
All
something
right.
to do with Barbie?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he loves Barbie. Yeah. Okay, this is number 4. Yes, this is number 4. Okay, so
This is in the dungeon that is called the Grand Cosmos.
there you go. Yes, this is in the Grand Cosmos. This is a painting in the Grand Cosmos. And the question is very simple. Who is this guy?
Who is the guy in the
Who is
painting?
this guy? And this has 2 parts to it. So I need to know what his name is, and I need to know his historical significance. Basically,
Like who was he basically?
Who is he in the grander sense? And of course, we're not talking about the horse. We are talking about the magnificent slice of man candy riding on the back of the horse.
I mean, if you can give us any lore about the horse, that would be pretty impressive too. The horse is a good boy. That's all.
It's a big horse. There's the law. The horse is big.
The horse
big
is
horse.
big.
Yeah.
I like that.
My Elzen has many a horse, and none of them are that big. So, big horse. Question 5. Yeah, a little bit more of a hint with a little dialogue box there from Moran, the librarian in the Crystarium. So I'll let you kind of take that in a little bit before we cover it up with text and get that context. Moran says, yet with Yet with her dying breath, she whispered unto her grieving comrades, Minfilia will return. Where and how was the first post-flood reincarnation of Minfilia discovered? Final question
Let's
of
do
this
it.
round. We're going to have a look at
It's a pretty impressive model, actually.
it is a pretty cool model. It's the same model as for Diet, actually.
Same skeleton, yeah.
Yeah, and the same scythe as well, which is a really interesting, point about the kind of similarities between the Voids and the Sin Eaters being the same kind of entities, just on like opposite ends of the spectrum. This is the SS rank Forgiven Rebellion, and the question is, who was the Novrant SS rank hunt Forgiven Rebellion believed to be before it became a Sin Eater? As we know, Sin Eaters were always either people or creatures before they were corrupted by the light and transformed. So there are some prevailing theories that NPCs deliver to us regarding who this may have been, who they firmly believe this to have been. He will appear in any zone, and I think the spawn condition is just like it has a chance of appearing every time you kill an S rank.
Yeah, so when you kill, only one of the S ranks in each area can spawn it. But when you kill it, there's a chance for minions of the SS rank to appear around the map, and then everyone has to go around and kill the minions. And then if the minions are killed in time, then the SS rank spawns.
That's right.
Yeah. But this is one of those questions in a trivia night when you see it and you just go, what?
I think someone will get it, because when you see the answer, it's suddenly like, oh, of course.
We'll give you a minute to finalize your answers. We're gonna go through the answers now.
Let's do it.
This was a rough round, everybody, so if you managed to get anything, you give yourself a big pat on the back, okay?
Number one. The question, once again, was, what race is the first emperor of Ronka? And the answer is
Ronso. Would you have accepted Hrothgar for this?
I would have accepted Hrothgar, yes. The Qatari basically discover some artifacts, some inscriptions that depicts the first emperor of Ronka, and they have some debate over the interpretation of this event that's being portrayed, but they agree that it is self-evident that the first emperor was a Ronso.
Next question.
Okay, the question was...
Want me to read this, man?
Yes, you read this.
Question.
Please.
What was the title and role of the Qatari in ancient Ronka? Answer. The stewards of note. Scribes and scriveners? Is that how you say it? Scriveners.
Yes. So they were basically historians. They would keep records. Being such a short-lived race, their history was so
well documented.
Delicate. Yeah, that they had to document it really well. So they had this incredible sort of natural proclivity for note taking and history making. So the Ronkans basically invited them into the empire to fulfill that function. They were known as the Stewards of Note, which is also one of the monikers that I use for Anonymous, the Steward of Note.
Hey, there you go.
It's a double entendre, by the way, because they're notable stewards, but they're also stewards of note writing.
Hey,
So, one of those. Did you seriously not get that until now?
All right, question number 3.
Next question. Why is the slumbering, Bismarck in Lakeland known as the Isle of Ken? And it is literally because there was a dude named Ken who made a home on his back after the flood and would scrape the barnacles off his belly. So the locals didn't know that it was Bismarck, and they just called it the Isle of Ken. Now, I thought this was originally because, the Fae are Gaelic, Celtic in origin, and that Ken is like an archaic Scottish word for knowing or for knowledge. So I thought it had something to do with that.
I'm reading through some of the responses. Some of them are not bad
Yeah.
for this one, actually.
Okay, cool.
Some of them are not bad for that one.
Yeah, Bismarck, the jazz dungeon, that's the one. Bismarck told us that there was a dude named Ken that lived on his back and scraped the barnacles off his stomach, and he was my friend. There you go.
There you go.
Next question.
Question number
Harry.
4. Who is this guy?
Who is
It
this
was
guy?
King Tolthawel. Did I say that correctly? Tolthawel?
Yeah.
First
yeah,
king of
that's
Lakeland and warrior of light. We actually didn't figure out the horse.
good. No, we didn't figure out the horse. I'm sorry.
Unfortunately, we didn't figure out the horse. I'm very sorry. I'm sorry.
The horses are not very good scriveners. They ain't got no thumbs. So Lakeland is the kingdom of the elves in Lakeland, obviously. And you see the ruins of it around there. And this is the guy that founded and established this kingdom, Tolthawil. We fight an animated, basically, shade of this painting in the dungeon. And we learned in 5.3, talking to Morin about, Tales of the Warriors of Light, that he was one of the historical figures considered to have been a warrior of light in Novrant's history.
The horse is the warrior of light. We figured it out.
Yeah.
We figured it out. The horse of light. We figured it out. It wasn't the guy on the horse. It was the horse.
Yeah.
It was a good disguise for the warrior of light, though. Come on.
It's true. It was like a Zan Tetsuk and Odin sort of thing. But the horse.
Yeah. But with the horse instead of the weapon.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on to question number 5.
Question number 5
This one
There
is
it is.
tricky.
Where and how was the first post-flood reincarnation of Minfilia discovered? Now, again, we learn pretty much right at the beginning of Shadowbringers that Minfilia has been reappearing in some way. Is it her? Is it not? What's going on? What's happening? We don't know. But these girls were appearing at various points throughout Novrant's history. And the first time was in Vobert, in what we now know as Ilmeg, the former city of Vobert. Now, when the Flood of Light happened, Armorang got deleted immediately. Lakeland had already fallen. Vobert was the last to hang on, basically. Other than Yulmore, it was the last to fall. It got sacked by Sin Eaters 15 years after the Flood of Light, and people got eaten and transformed and all that. And there was this one young girl that turned out to be immune. And after Vobert fell, she was trained as a Sin Eater fighting warrior, and conscripted into the Yulmoran army to fight against the Sin Eaters, where she died. And then another Minfilia showed up, and another one, and another one, and another one, ad nauseum to the current day.
I actually really loved the part in the story when they gave us these illustrations. I thought they were super intriguing.
They're beautiful, aren't they? They're very like Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah, the art style is just so like nothing you really see in Final Fantasy XIV before. It was beautiful.
Nobody got that. Okay.
Nobody got that.
All right. Gotcha. That's one for Ethys.
That was rough. I didn't get that one either. I don't think anybody got that. A lot of people guessed Armorang and some guessed Yulmore.
Okay. Well, Yulmore's not a bad guess. Armorang was the Flood of Light destroyed Armorang. It's like halfway through the royal palace. Armorang did not exist after the flood.
All right, question number 6, the last question. Who was the Norvrant SS rank hunt for Given Rebellion believed to be before it became a Sin Eater? The answer, a servant of the Shadow Keeper who led a revolt against and overthrew the King of Lakelands.
So we are told this by the clan Nazi representatives. You can ask them. The Shadowkeeper, those of you who know who the Shadowkeeper is, you know. The Shadowkeeper was, among other things that they were pretending to be, was surreptitiously the ruler, the power behind the throne of Lakelands. Instigated a rebellion, orchestrated a rebellion, and overthrew the king. And this was the Shadowkeeper's puppet. Became Forgiven Rebellion, and the clue there is in the name, Forgiven Rebellion.
Somebody just wrote, "Oh shit, it's Ranjit."
As one of the answers?
As the answer to that question, yeah.
How'd you guys feel about that one?
How did everybody go? Fill us in on how you went on that one. That was rough.
Congratulations, even a 2 out of 6. That's really good. I'm proud of you guys for paying attention to the law. You're all in my good books right now. Well done.
Being an Ethys' good book is pretty hard, so you should all
very
take that
difficult.
as a pretty high honor.
Harry's never managed it.
I've never managed, no.
Yeah.
I'm still in the so-so book, you know?
Yeah. He's still in the diplomatic acquaintance.
Yeah. You know, we've really known each other
Harry and I,
for
we're just not that close, you know?
really known each other for 6 years, so like that's not really much. It's,
Yeah.
could be more.
Yeah. He's just not a very good friend to me, you know?
Tonberry Chocobros is coming in at 9th. Should you want me to give you the points number as well? Yep.
Yep. Yes.
At 16 points. Coming in 8th on 17 points, we have Team Uwa. Coming in 7th on 18 points. So there's only 1 point between all of these. Is Virtual Ovier.
Ooh, that's really close.
Then we have coming in at, is it 6th now, I believe? We have Team Flare on 20 points. Trap Party Go on 22 points. We have a tie for 3rd, I guess.
Yeah.
Because we have 2 teams on 23. So we have Warriors of Wipe on 23. And Clearly Suffering also on 23 points.
Ooh.
Then coming in 2nd on 25 points, we have Glynis Hadfield team. And then coming in 1st at 26 points is Los Die.
You want to try that one more time?
Take
a second. Maybe take a sip of water or
The H on the end, I don't get it.
26 out of 30?
No, actually, no, it's not. It's out of 36, because remember there was one round that you could get 2 points per question.
You're right.
10 points between first and last. Let's move on to our final round. Final round is quite fast.
A bit of a palate cleanser.
A little palate cleanser. I hope everybody likes it. This was a little one that I cooked up in the shower. Rogadin name or keyboard smash?
We'll both try and pronounce all of them, and you guys in chat can decide which one is the true pronunciation. Okay.
So it's gonna say round 6. We've actually skipped round 5. I was silly and couldn't count. So round 5 doesn't exist. So that's why we're going straight to round 6. Question number 1. We have Sliss Kateson.
Okay. I'm gonna give you an alternate. I think that's a good pronunciation. I think that's probably right. I'm gonna try and give you an alternate one. Slice Kateson.
Ah, yes, the old slice Kateson.
Slice Kateson.
We love a slice Kateson. Question 2. Swig skiff.
Okay. Zweigskife.
Ah, Zweigskife. Question 3. Weirkolsk.
I'm gonna say Verkolsk.
That sounds much more like badass.
You got to remember that Rogadins are basically descended from Vikings from the far north, from Ersleit. So they're very Icelandic, proto-Germanic naming conventions.
Artsat track.
I would go with Artsatrak.
Artsatrak. Atsat track.
At that track.
At that track. at that track. I
Yeah,
like to
at
ride
that
my
track.
bicycle at that track.
Not that track, at that track. That's so stupid.
Question 5. Frillsmid. Frillsmaid.
Ooh.
Frillsmead.
Fiddlesmid.
Frillsmid.
Fiddlesmid. You can tell that I've been living in Norway for a while when I pronounce things like this.
Do it again.
Fiddlesmid.
Yes. Very good. Very good. And then question number 6. Akilnsulk. Akilnsulk. Yeah.
Ooh. Oh man, that's a tough one. Akilnsulk.
Akilnsulk. Sulk. Okay.
Akilnsulk.
How did
Wow.
everybody go? That's the end of that round.
Mate, these are tough.
So if everyone could hit in their response, hit in their forms,
Mm-hmm.
you could tell us which ones are actual row names and which ones are keyboard smashes. That would be great.
Those are going to be pretty tough, I think.
Question 1. Sliskatesen.
If it's not an NPC, that's a law-abiding Rogadin name. So I'm
And-
going to say that's real.
Yeah, that's so question 1 was a Rogadin name. I believe he's actually one of the officers that you speak to in the Maelstrom command. Number 2, Swigskiff.
No, I'm going to say that's real as well.
That is also real. Number 2 is also a Rogadin name. Number 3, Wirhulsk. That is also a Rogadin name.
Really?
Yeah.
Where's Verkolsk?
I don't know where he's from, but if you Google him, he exists.
Male Rogadin Guild Leave NPC.
There you go.
2.0.
Question number 4, Atzat track.
Okay. That's made up.
That is a real Rogadin name.
No. No, really?
That is a real Rogadin name.
No.
It's literally an NPC in the game called Atzat track.
Male Rogadin, Western Lenosha, started Quest Serpent's tongue.
Are they all real? Is that the catch? You'll have to see me, sir.
Oh my
You'll have to
goodness.
see. Question number 5. Firilsmid. Firilsmid is also a Rogadin name.
Oh my goodness. I'm surprised in you.
And then question number
Very
6.
Mhm.
Akilnsulk. That is a keyboard smash.
You can do the next Aozivir. I'm done.
All
I
of them
retire.
except for the last one were real Rogadin names. So to get that, I literally
Unbelievable.
I just started pressing keys, and then I was like, and then I had to put in a vowel to make it actually readable, and then I just that was it.
This was excellent. I was wondering if you were gonna mix in some Hellsguard ones because you could do some really funny Hellsguard
Oh,
ones.
true. That could be another
Yeah.
one that we could do.
We might come back to this. That was way harder than the law round, dude.
That was, but that was 50-50.
Way harder.
Like that was literally 50-50. If you didn't know, you would just pick one.
true.
You know what I mean? Like
That-
it was 50-50.
That's true.
So
I'm gonna really
before
look and see what the stuff with the playthings.
Before we announce any of the winners or anything like that, I just want to say thank you all so much for coming along and hanging out with us, and
Thank
just having a good time. This was just completely put together by Ethys and myself. We weren't getting paid to do it. We did it. So thank you for embracing it and coming along and having a good time, because I mean, I had a really good time. I can't talk for Ethys.
Thank you. Just to, I guess, echo what Harry said. Thank you so much for checking this out and for watching. We weren't sure exactly how it was going to go off, and it seems like it's gone off pretty well. And hopefully, based on further feedback, we will be able to organize stuff like this in the future for the Final Fantasy XIV ANZ community. And if any of you are watching and you are Australia, New Zealand residents and are not part of the Final Fantasy XIV ANZ Facebook group, our official, unofficial community, you want to go to facebook.com/groups/FFXIVANZ. We've got, I think, 7,500 members there, and counting, which is phenomenal. Under less COVID-y conditions, we do regular community gatherings and meetups.
Maybe eventually this trivia will be in person.
Yeah, eventually. Yeah, eventually it will be. But yeah, we do major meetings, gatherings in like every major city in the region fairly regularly, and we do lots of giveaways and merchandise, and it's a really lovely community, very well managed by Getz and his moderators that do such a fantastic job of vetting out all of the creeps and unsavories, and it's just a really nice, wholesome, big, happy family. It's the most wonderful community that I've ever been a part of, and I feel so privileged to be a part of it. So come join it and come hang out and party with Harry and I sometime when the pandemic's over.
But I will also just mention that it is only for Final Fantasy players from the Australia, New Zealand region. And also a big thank you to Getz and admins that were doing marking. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for doing the behind the scenes work. Big thank you for that. I hope that the forms were easy enough for you to work. I've never run anything like this before, so I hope that it was easy for you to manage and get around and all that kind of stuff. So thank you so much for doing that. So before we go through the who won, let's quickly revisit the prizing so people remember what they're voting for or what they're trying to get. So we have 3 of each of these to give away, and how it works is the team that wins gets first choice, team that comes second gets second choice, third gets third choice, etc, etc, etc. So we have 3 Moogle clocks to give away. We have 3 cleaning gloves to give away, which are Chocobo and Spriggan themed. We have 3 Carbuncle night lights. We have 3 Numu plushies, and we have 3 Happy Bunny plush. Wait, has Ethys DC'd? Who doxed Ethys? I can't believe this.
Beep, boop, boop, beep, beep, beep. 1 0 0 0 1 1 0 1 1 1 0 1 0 1 1 1 0 1.
I hate this. I hate everything about this.
Damn it, Discord.
For everybody that participated, we are going to be doing a raffle for the Shadowbringers Collector's Edition as well, for the physical Shadowbringers Collector's Edition. So even if you don't get into the top 5 teams to get a prize, you still have a chance to win something. Coming in 9th place, we have Tonberry Chocobos on 19 points. Round of applause, please. And then coming in for 8th place, we have Team Uwa on 20 points. Then we have in 7th place.
That's right, 7th. There you go.
In 7th place, we had Virtual Olvier coming in at 22 points.
Well done, well done.
We have a scoring issue here that we're going to have to figure out how we're going to sort out, because of some ties, we actually have 6 teams in the top 5. Problem is we have an equal first and equal fourth. We're going straight from 7th to 4th because of the scoring. So,
okay.
So for equal 4th, in 25 points, we have both Team Flare and Trap Party Go. And then 3rd, we have Clearly Suffering on 26 points. And then 2nd, we have Lost Die, which is at 28 points. And then equal first was both Warriors of Wipe and Team Glynis on 29 points. We're gonna have to figure out some kind of tiebreaker. If you're happy to do up a quick question for a tiebreaker and try and make it in a way that's like, I don't know, scalable, I guess, maybe? I don't know.
Yes, yeah, I could do that. I could do a scalable question, like pick the best answer or the closest answer, if you like. Your representatives will send your answers to Harry in a DM on Discord, okay? Harry will read them to me, and then I will have the deeply inenviable task of deciding which one is best. Please do remember that if you miss out, I think we can say like pretty confidently that we're gonna do this again. We want to do this again, so we will do our best to make that happen. So there will be more opportunities in the near future. Okay. All right. So here is your question, and good luck. I will say this slowly, and I will repeat it for you since we don't have an on-screen prompt. Sophia was the one member of the Warring Triads who allowed herself to be captured by Alag. Why? I'll say that again. Sophia was the one and only member of the Warring Triads who allowed herself to be captured by Alag, by the Allegans. Why did she do this? Why? I just want you to give your best answer that you can give off the top of your head. If neither of them are correct, I will choose the one that I think is the most like intuitive or sound or the closest to the truth.
Yeah.
And we'll just see what we got.
So Flair has said she allowed herself to be captured to save her followers from the Allegans. And Trap Party Go said because she is the primal of balance.
Okay, I'll give you the answer. And I guess Harry, you and I can reach an accord. So in reality, Sophia had double agents in Azazlar, who she had tempered, followers of hers, who were stationed in Azazlar, and they had sabotaged the Neuralinks, which is the devices that are used to trap and hold the Warring Triads. And her plan was that once she was captured and put there, her followers would basically let her out, and that she would attack Alag from within, free the rest of the Warring Triad, go and free Bahamut, and they would just completely decimate the Allagan Empire. Unfortunately, the Fourth Umbral Calamity occurred while this was happening, and her plan never came to fruition.
Right.
So I think the idea of wanting to save her followers is probably the more like sophisticated intuition there. I think being the primal of balance is just a very vague truism. Would you agree with that, Harry?
I would have to give that to Team Flair. Yeah.
She was more driven by like, revenge and wanting to destroy Alag than wanting to save people, but she did have people in Azazlar, and she was, trying to, save the few Mericidians left and, get revenge for the subjugation of Mericidia. So I agree. I think that's the point. Congratulations, Flair. Well done.
Flair, that would mean that Flair is in 5th place. Trap Party Go, I am so sorry, but you have come in 6th.
Again, we will try to do this again, and when the teams are submitted, we will give priority. If we're at like a team limit, we will give priority to the people that have not won previously for competing.
Also, they want to do a tiebreaker for 1st place as well. Warriors of Wipe, both Warriors of Wipe and Team Glynis both want the Carbuncle Lights.
Okay, this is a very simple phrase, one line, and whoever gives me the closest translation will take the cake. Okay, you ready? The line is Ma Morn Na. The dragon speak, I want you to translate as best as you can off the top of your head in the next 90 seconds is Ma Morn Nar. That is a tough one, but these are words that have been used in places throughout Heaven's Ward in particular.
So remember, this is for tiebreaker for 1st place. So even if you don't get it, you're still 2nd. Like that's it's still awesome. It's still amazing.
Now,
so
don't tell me which teams they are.
Okay.
Just give me the 2 answers.
One answer is my death is final, and the other team was your death. You die now.
Okay. Ma Morn Nar. Now, Both teams have correctly recognized that Morn means death or sleep in dragon speak. Akmorn is, of course, circle of death. They both recognize that. The direct translation of Ma, Morn, Na is the saviors must perish. So one was a me was a first person, and the other was a second person, right? You, they. The closest has got to be you die now, right?
Well, yeah, I mean that would be the closest direct. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is Warriors of Wipe coming in at first, and Team Glynis coming in second, but still had the same amount of points.
Well done, all teams. This is really good. Like you guys performed like much better than I expected you to, and much better than I think Harry expected you to. And for those of you that have ever watched Eozivia, you perform much better than Mike and Sly usually do as well. So
I'm honestly just shocked that we had so much tie breaks. Like next time we'll definitely have an actual plan in place for those. Sorry that we like improvised something. Thanks for sticking it with us, and thanks for Ethys for having those questions there.
Yeah, if anyone's got any suggestions or feedback, either here or after the show or down in the YouTube comments for those of you watching on YouTube, for what might be a good way to handle tiebreakers. I think we improvised it fairly well, but we're open to suggestions for all this. Again, this is a pilot. It's a sort of beta test, a proof of concept for this, and we are very, very receptive to feedback. So thank you.
Indeed. For the raffle, I was thinking I would just take all of the names that I was given from the registry.
So just to remind you guys, this is for a Shadowbringers physical collector's edition, including the Warrior of Darkness Dark Knight statue, which I am so jealous of, and I know Harry is as well.
I really would love to have this for myself.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you everyone for competing. Thank you Gets and admins for doing the behind the scenes stuff, but extra special thank you to Square Enix and to Reboot for facilitating this and for providing these prizes, because it really just like gives this an extra level, and it's really nice to be able to like give some goodies to the community. It feels good.
It's good.
So
it's good.
Good on ya.
The winner. I don't want to pick it because I want to keep it for myself.
Oh my god, the winner's Ethys Asher. Wow.
Oh, wow. The winner is Shadow 7199. If you could please, in a DM, just let me know what team you were on and what your name was that you registered, just so we can confirm. But heckin' congratulations! I hope you enjoy. I hope you enjoy.
Goodness.
When it arrives, if you could take a photo of the statue and put it in the Facebook group so we can all cry a little bit.
Please.
With that done, that's officially the end of the first Final Fantasy XIV ANZ trivia.
For those of you watching on YouTube, thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it. I know that hearing a different voice so much on the channel might be a new experience for you, and I hope that you have enjoyed it. Harry is a very old and very, very dear friend of mine and of the channel, and he's supported us since honestly, like we've been really close friends since before I started on YouTube. So he's a great bloke. And if any of you jabronis are not following Harry on Twitch, then it's twitch.tv/healmeharry. There will be a link in the description below. Go give him a follow, go give him a sub, give him some support, give him some love. He is a beautiful, wholesome human being and a bloody legend, and well worth your support. So thank you. And please, you got any feedback for the show, submit it below. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you want to see more of it on YouTube. Let me know if you have any ideas, any suggestions. If you love it, hate it, let me know how you feel. And if you're not subbed here already, then the thing down there. So thank you for watching. See you in the next thing. I love you all. And I'm sure Harry does as well.
Very much so.
So take care, YouTube.
Bye. See you, YouTube. Yo, that was a lot of praise, Ethys. Wow.
Well, it's
Goodness.
mostly good.
Goodness,
It's a little bit
goodness.
hyperbolic. All right,
And
it's mostly bullshit.
it's mostly bullshit.